Good afternoon or good morning, wherever you are across this big wide world today. Today, I want to do a video. Many people who know me pretty well know one of the biggest issues for me or concerns is always setting boundaries. And for me, boundaries are very important in life because really, when you set boundaries, it helps you not only your leadership style, but also if you're in a management position or in a leadership position, it helps increase your leadership or management skills. For instance, let's give an example that's somebody you got in a place in work where you're not like a cafeteria where people aren't supposed to smoke. Somebody wants to light up a cigarette, and as a manager, you say you can't do that. You have to go outside. So, and I know that's an extreme example, but the point here is you set those boundaries up, and and what I mean by those boundaries is that a person cannot cross what the old cliche, cross that line, or what I always call cross the Rubicon, which goes back to Caesar's days back in the Roman Empire. But in essence, when you're setting boundaries, it also helps empower the other individuals. And in essence, when you go in and tell somebody, "Oh, you can do this, you can do this, you can't do that," or "This is acceptable, this is not acceptable." Some of this companies use in their dialogue or their moral ethic code dialogue to set things up. So what you're really doing is once you set these boundaries, you're setting the boundaries not only for yourself, but also for your company or your organization, whatever that may be. But in essence, what we're talking about here is just setting boundaries for one's life as well. And when you set these boundaries, you're telling people what you're willing to accept and what you're not willing to accept as well. And for instance, I don't like people that yell. And when somebody yells, I don't say anything, but I just keep my mouth quiet and let them vent whatever they're saying. For the first thing is sometimes if you let somebody vent if they're yelling, that calms them down. But secondly, if you don't say anything, you don't escalate the situation. So in essence, I will let somebody do their yelling or their rant, and then when they're finished, then I say, I really do not like yelling. I don't think it's counterintuitive. It's also not counterproductive. So we can deal this as friends or as workers or as a boss that in essence that gives a respectability not only to that individual but to the other individual and other to that other that other individual as well. So in other words, what you're doing if you tell somebody you don't like yelling, then you're actually empowering them to be a better person. So, and I'm big on, I've got a book out called Empowerment and Change. And right now, I think it's only available. I took it off online. I took it off online, but it is available if something that you're interested in. But I also have a book that's called Don't Buy the Lottery Ticket, because really, in essence, when you're dealing with setting boundaries, and I'm big on that too, if people are gambling, you're really taking that money that technically could be going for paying bills or for family needs, you're giving that money to an organization that in essence doesn't really care where they're getting their money. So what we're doing here is we're saying, for instance, with the gambling, that you're giving that empowerment or that money that you could be helping yourself or somebody else, you're giving that away and not really helping your life. The other thing I like about boundaries, and it's the final thing, boundaries help you create bigger boundaries as well, and what I call positive boundaries. In essence, for me, like helping with the company I'm working with. I'm sponsoring a family. And the reason I say that, because once you establish that boundary and saying, well, I've got a base boundary, but I really want to start helping others. So when you go out there and say, I want to expand my boundaries or expand my influence in a positive way, what you're really doing is you're expanding your boundaries in a positive outlook. So, in essence, folks, these are a couple of things I want to say about boundaries today. Please like and subscribe below. Feel free to reach out and talk to me about any issues. It's B. Thomas Miller Psych, BThomaspsych @gmail.com. Anyways, folks, have a great week. Maybe I'll try to make a video tomorrow. I don't know. But anyway, thanks for the opportunity and I hope to talk to you soon. Have a great week. Bye.